everyone, welcome back to my Let's Play of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, we finally got to see sort of how this trial in Great Britain is going to go down, with the jurors throwing a ball of fire into one of these scales of justice and determining whether or not we're guilty based on as little evidence as they deem is necessary, basically. So, like, 5 out of the 6 have already determined our guy is guilty, like, at the whim of a hat, or the drop of a hat. They're just like, yep, bam, and then it's like, fire. So, like, this is not looking good for us. But, it's very interesting. I don't know exactly how that makes sense. You would think you'd want your jurors to hear the entire case before making a judgment, but you know, what do I know? I'm not a lawyer, I'm an engineer, so I just make things and hope I don't get sued over them if they hurt someone, I guess. But anyway, so that's where we are, and we found out that our clients apparently like extortions people for money, and the person who died owed him a lot of money, which was due the day he died, and he was poor, so they're thinking, okay, he couldn't pay up, so our guy went and killed him in a omnibus, which that part doesn't make sense, but yeah, it's motive, you know what I mean? At least it's not just like blind, he did it for whatever reason, but we'll see if we can get ourselves out of this, which I'm sure we can. But I want to say real quick, thank you guys so much for your continued support of the series. Sorry my uploads this week have been a little trash. I haven't been feeling the best this week, but I'm doing my best. So, you guys are awesome. Don't forget that. And let's jump back in with Santa. Oh yes, 20 guineas. The victim owed a considerable son. Son? He owed his firstborn son. Oh God, Van Zeek's your accent. Deutsch, and the accused made quite certain he had ample recompense. I almost said compensence. Come on, Grandma. Well, it would seem I've had the wool pulled over my eyes. Oh God, she's angry knitting. Regrettably, madam, that is a modus operandi of the accused. And it's such a pretty little park, too. What a scoundrel. Oh no, Granny, no, please. Still, maybe it's all for the best. Well, wait a minute. Let's think about this a little more before I don't stand for nonsense. Granny ain't no punk bitch. What the frickle pickle? Same. That was it. The last juror's decision. Wait, yo, what? What's gonna happen? Just rips the book in half. According to this Encyclopedia of British Law, when all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended, and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence. That's what it says here. The final verdict. It's over then. Oh. Smack! There's a footnote, though. A footnote? However, the defense...
All 6 members of the jury are now in agreement in this case, and they're all dumb, apparently.
Shut up, Vampire Edgeworth. Stop moving your arm.
Allow me to convey my respect for your swift and righteous decision. According to the laws of this country, I don't know what accent's going on with that anymore. French? I will now conclude the trial by delivering my final verdict. Death. Trust there are no objections? Wait, Cesato? Miss Cesato, just tell me one thing.
Oh, yes? You were in the middle of saying something before?
The footnote in your Encyclopedia of British Law. However, the defense...
What did it say next? Oh yes, of course. One moment. When all members of the jury have concluded that the defendant is guilty, court proceedings are suspended and the presiding judge will deliver the final verdict and sentence.
Girl, you already read this. We don't have much time.
Then the footnote says, however, the defense has the right to demand a summation examination of the jurors at this point. What the hell does that mean? Summation Examination?
Objection!
Shut up, Edgeworth, vampire. A Summation Examination. From which century has that tome you have there been resurrected? Ah! Sorry, I dropped my controller. Judging from the binding, I would say that book is at least 50 years old. Any modern text on British law wouldn't even give such an antiquated procedure a mention. It's a relic, long forgotten and certainly no longer practiced. So you're out of luck. Oh. Huh. Pull up my sleeve. What even is it, Miss Susato? The so-called Summation Examination. Oh, one moment and I'll read about it. It has to do with mathematics. No, I'm kidding. You would demand the right to a procedure before you even understand what it entails. Huh. Typical Nipponese. Can you stop being rude? Alright, Mr. Naruhodo, I think I understand. It seems that under this procedure, we would be able to appeal to the members of the jury. To do what, exactly? Appeal to them to change their leaning and reverse their decisions. A turnabout, you might say. And it says here that if successful, the proceedings of the trial must be resumed. Make them reverse their decisions.
Yes, in times gone by, barristers. I thought that said baristas on my coffee? Barristers would use a summation examination to attempt to influence the jury's decision. AKA bribery. But that procedure became something of a formality with no practical benefit, really. So it rather fell out of use.
I wonder why.
Because it was devoid of purpose.
Gasp.
Changing just one member of the jury's mind would be hard enough, let alone several. No self-respecting defense barrister would even assert his right to try in this day and age.
Still, someone's life is on the line, man. I don't see any mention of the procedure actually being formally revoked.
What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that, although it may be antiquated and largely forgotten, it isn't yet extinct.
Damn, Susato.
What do you think, Mr. Naruhodo?
Do we have children together? And that's where Phoenix Wright comes from, because he pulls this bullshit out of his ass all the time.
Summation Examination.
Our last possible option. Do we assert our right to carry it out or admit defeat? Never! Slam that fist. There you go. The defense wishes to assert its right to a summation examination, my lord.
Objection!
I don't care. London is the capital city of the most powerful nation on earth. We have a duty to the world to exemplify the very highest standards of judicial procedure. You're dumb. The summation examinations are an embarrassment that should remain buried.
Objection!
Objection.
But if it's our right, it's our right.
I believe it could prove vital in this trial.
The defense's petition is perfectly valid. The court will proceed with the summation examination. This is madness. Foreman, are you and the remainder of the jury ready? Ah! Well, I'm not, there was no mention of this in the letter I received, you see, so... Bro, don't sweat so much. All members of the jury will be asked to explain on what grounds they have reached their decision. I hate him. On what grounds? You must all justify your decisions and explain why you believe the defendant to be guilty. Well, my lord, you're rather putting us on the spot.
This is most irregular. No mention was made of this before.
I don't really hold with all this justifying Locke. She doesn't care. That seems to have thrown the jurors off. Good.
Seems none of them have experienced this before. Alright then. Summation examination.
A defense procedure no practicing lawyer has attempted for years, is it? Well, just maybe. Might be the opportunity we've been looking for. To turn this trial around, yeah! So be it then. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court hereby calls upon you to state the grounds on which you find the defendant, Magnus McGilded, guilty of this most serious crime.
Yeah, besides, I don't like him. Judicial findings. The jurors' contentions. Okay.
There is no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him.
I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory, it seems. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence.
Okay, yeah, but he said he saw the guy on the ground. I really don't think that's how that happened. He struck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I must say. Absolutely brazen. Bro, your eyes look cracked out.
I have simply typed in collated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion.
You could trust the guild. Fair's our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. I don't know what voice I gave you before, man. Oh, God.
The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. It beggars belief. Yeah, but he died in the chair, didn't he? Why would you put the body back on the chair? Starting to wish I hadn't pushed for this now. Some of the jurors don't seem to have wonderfully formed arguments, though, do they?
Some?
Well, let's see what we can do. We need to get these 6 people to change their minds. I'll have to throw everything I can at them. Bricks, tomatoes, no, water balloons, and use some very persuasive language. Please don't kill this man. Just a moment, Mr. Naruhodo. Don't screw it up. According to my book, that's not quite how it works. Oh? I thought I was gonna have to thaw their icy minds with some heartwarming rhetoric about the defendant.
He's a nice guy.
Unfortunately, once the jurors have decided the defendant is guilty, they're unlikely to heed anything the defense says. But then, they've reached their conclusions by their own reasoning, you see. Your pleas will sound like excuses. In fact, it could recoil on you. The more you try to persuade them, the more entrenched they may become.
Great. Then what on earth am I supposed to do?
Oh dear. I'm just citing what I've read about British law, Mr. Naruhodo.
Right. I'm sorry. Do you have any idea how to make this work then?
Well, from what I can understand, the key to this procedure is using the jurors' own words to make your arguments.
What do you mean?
Well, the 6 members of the jury are randomly selected members of the public. They may appear to present a united front, but the truth is, they are complete strangers who just happen to find themselves here in the courtroom together.
And that's the way to break them down, you mean?
Yes, exactly. We must listen very carefully to what each member of the jury says, and see if we can identify any contradictory statements. If we can, we then contrast the statements and pit the corresponding jurors against each other.
I see. So it's contradictions in what 2 or more jurors say that we're looking for. In a way then, this is similar to a regular cross-examination.
Oh, yes, I suppose you're right.
Contradictions!
Find contradictions in their statements and pit the jurors against one another to break them down.
Alright, I might be able to pull this off. No, that's not right. I have to pull this off. Just take out my katana. Can we start proceedings, counsel? Are you done slapping your face? I would ask you to take the stand for this. I'm expecting a clear and concise rebuttal. Yes, my lord. Alright. Whoever doesn't change their mind is getting caught with this katana. Jury examination. Wow, it's weird to see my full body, because, you know, they never come out from behind the desk, I feel like. The defense is rebuttal. Alright. There was no one else inside the carriage at the time, so it has to have been him. Okay. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory. It seems 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. I don't even know if that's true. Struck the chap next to him just like this. Brazen, I say. Absolute... Sorry, I kicked that with my leg. Absolutely okay, brazen. Whatever. I simply typed and correlated all the statements made thus far and drawn the logical conclusion. Sure. You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. The scoundrel stabbing that poor man on the floor. See, that doesn't make sense.
next to him versus on the floor? You know what I mean? Pit, oh, this is so cool. These two, right?
Objection.
Was he on the floor or in the chair? Those two statements are completely contradictory. What? Explain, counsel. Post haste.
Oh, dearie me, I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
What is all this claptrap? Oh god, don't say claptrap to me. I have Borderlands PTSD. What does contradictory even mean, I ask you?
We've heard from more than one witness.
I love this pacing. This is incredible.
That they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3.
What? Can't you see that I'm busy here?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it?
Ha! Want to test me, do you? Oh my god! I thought he was gonna stab the lady next to him. It was like this! Stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up, just like the prim banker said. Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true.
Now then, juror number 6. Oh, is that to me, is it? What can I do for you, young man? How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh my god, I have a tickle in my throat.
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it. It was like this. He stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move.
Take a look at these two jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. Okay, I'm not crazy, because I was like,
well, I never. They're stabbing in totally different directions. What?
There's my stitches. What a muddle. What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Oh. But why? Why the dickens would they lie?
I don't know. I don't know that yet. But what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience? Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. I can't abide people telling lies. Oh, there's so much fire going on here. Tip the scales! The scales.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, bitches! Look how cool I am.
Wait. Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this man. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all.
If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this?
Answer me this, Dark Jinx.
Whoa, why are you calling me out? Sorry, I took a sip of water real quick.
Oh my god, it's tickling my throat.
Yo, he said dark.
Huh?
Me?
What exactly is the problem? What of it if two witnesses have slightly different recollections of events?
What do you mean? What of it?
Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim as he was sat next to him on the omnibus. And this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor. Then the Shylock stabbed him again. And this old lady saw him do it. Well, let's just say it didn't happen like that, huh?
Who are you calling a dandy, sir? Why I should take this knife to you? Who are you calling old? Why I should take this needle to you?
They're ready to kill each other now.
Bro, he was only stabbed once. But could their foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? Was he only stabbed once? Single stab wound, baby! It's out of the question. No! Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman...
Oh, what is it, you Dark Jinx? Come on, out with it!
What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. Gasp, gasp, gasp.
What are you talking about, man? How could you possibly say that? You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As foreman of the jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction. So where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to see. I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof.
Alright. Looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. Like the freaking, yeah, what's it called? Post-mortem report. Some irrefutable hard evidence. As you wish.
What?
I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by... Da-da-da-ba! Take that! This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once.
Ah! Only once!
It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen two different times. Alright, I can see defeat. Where the heck did the knife go? Wow, they're all so good at throwing fire. Like Mario. Oh, well done, Mr. Naruhodo. You did it! If we can manage to change two more jurors' minds, we can force the trial to continue. Two more, actually. There is something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions. Then that's where you must strike next. So I need to pit two more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions. Exactly. You can do it.
Can she hear inside my head? What? Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they still weigh heavy on the side of guilt. Counsel, you have the floor again. Continue with your summation examination.
Alright, man, don't worry. I got it, Santa. I'm no lover of the rich, but I despise lies even more. Innocent is my call for now, at least. Alright? Typed and collated all the statements. Okay, hers, like, doesn't... That's not even gonna do anything, because it doesn't mean anything. I trust the driver, an excellent memory. 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. What does this guy say? You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised prices above 4 pence for years. Okay, that's wrong. Those two things contradict each other, right? Because 4 times 4 is 16. Why does that matter, though? I don't understand. Hold on. Let me see the other... Oh, is there just one left? Well, hers is stupid, so okay. Maybe it's these two. Yeah, right? I don't know why this matters.
Objection!
Y'all can't do math. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
They do. Explain yourself, counsel.
Me? Oh dear, what have I said?
I swear on Silver Blaze's maiden name, I haven't the first idea what you're talking about.
According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. Oh, I love this pacing so much. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares. Quite right, I have those precise details typed neatly here in front of me. Juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence. Oh, whoa, that means there's 20 people. 20, Jesus Christ. There's 5 people, right? Because 5 times 4 is 20. So it's not 4 people, it's 5. So there's a 5th person on the carriage. All right, that is it. A fair and convenient single price, just the way London's carriages should be operated. But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts. Why, man, why? 4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up, or multiply up for that matter. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact? By 4 pence, in fact, Jesus. Or precisely 1 person's fare.
1 person's fare?
Bam! Yes, in other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about.
Good gracious!
His hair falls off his head. Gotta keep that straight on, man.
This can't be right! The coachmen of the guild are good, honest men, one and all. Trustworthiness is our watchword.
I don't know what your accent is, man. The figures your coachman claims most certainly do not add up. Your watchword, good sir, is a fallacy.
I beg your pardon.
Alright, calm down, everyone. Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread all over London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact that he lets nefarious characters ride his omnibus.
Damn.
Alright then, how do I make it so this miserable trial doesn't end,
Change your verdict.
Well, according to my book here, you simply launch a ball of fire into the innocent side of the set of scales.
Now hold your horses there, coachman.
Wow, get it? Hold your horses? Haha,
We were all in agreement. Why do you have to bug?
wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo.
I should give him like a Mario.
It's a me. He kind of looks like Mario.
Oh, this is all very irritating.
Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same. Yes, you go, girl. Boo!
For the love of Mike, not you as well.
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exacting standards in financial matters.
What? Oh, really?
I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witnesses again.
Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning to not guilty.
We've done it, Mr. Naruhodo! We've won!
I mean, we haven't yet, girl. Calm down. What are you playing at, you dandy fool?
Shut your trap, sir! No one deceives me!
But we had a consensus.
I said shut your trap! I know a lie when I see one. And if this chap ever dares to cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor sharp— oh god, stop licking the blade! The razor sharp blade and shave every last hair off his head. Please tell me he's a barber. It's Sweeney Todd up in here.
Well, in a quite remarkable turn of events, the defense's summation examination has flipped the balance of the scales of justice. Jurors now stand at 2 for guilty and 4 for not guilty. Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue.
Yay! No premature murder.
I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to continue to pursue the truth.
That's all I do, man, is pursue the truth.
So, Lord Van Zeeks, continue to substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please.
Yeah, let's go, Vampire Edgeworth. Drink your blood. I don't even care. I'm not scared of you. I thought he was about to pour that on the desk. I was so ready. Oh, shit. Sorry also when it gets really quiet if you can hear me like swallow water. It's so weird. It gets so dead quiet. Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hollow chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Lord Van Zeeks!
Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As your antiquated toll no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. Instead, I just glare. I'm very mad. So I honor their deathly silence and listen to their charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Yeah, insult the jury, man. That's gonna make them be on your side. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? So, let us proceed to the next round of battle. Oh shit, the cape came off. Bring forth the witnesses once more. He's getting serious. The cape is off. The cape is off, everybody. Watch out. Witnesses! I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure.
Oh, yes, sir. That I did, sir.
Of course I heard it.
Oh, yes, sir. I heard it. You, sir, on the end. The coachman. I believe it's Beppo. Yes, sir, my lord, sir. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh mio Dio.
Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
God, that phrase is just, it's fun to say, but it also isn't. Witness testimony part 2, but I'm going to save and call it an episode there. I'll probably release another episode tomorrow to make up for the fact that I didn't release an additional one this week, so thanks for your guys' patience on that, and I hope you guys are still enjoying the series. I like the new stuff they've added. You know, it makes it fresh, it makes it exciting, so I'm eager to see where this goes. I bet you there is someone hiding in the little, like, compartment of the seat, you know what I mean? Or the people on the roof help the guy escape. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. So, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, feel free to leave a like, comment, favorite, or subscribe, whatever you guys are feeling, and until the next time, lights off, dark out.